I could care less about how realtors get their business. I just service the business they do get. What you would need to do is get on the MLS in Nevada.
Yep.
If you want me to hook you up with a good realtor that I feel would have the time to help you out or to address any inquiries you may have, but they're not going to want to help you. You'd have to send it to them and ask for a 25% referral fee. Otherwise, why would they want it, you know? But if you got access to the MLS, you get access to reality. That's the only way.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I wanted to buy a fourplex, so it had cash flow coming in, is there like 100% financing out there? And if there is, what kind of rates?
No.
No.
Hell no. No. What's cool is we can use the income from the other 3 units, and if we put it in owner occupied and it made sense for where your business is, with your nature of business, we could, well, if it's out of a whole different state, it probably wouldn't work out, but no. There is no 100% financing period that I'm aware of in any way, shape, or form, other than if you get into extreme multi-unit commercial. He had his hand up first, but I'll be right back to you. Yes, sir.
Well, I tried to get financing from the bank, and they say that if you don't have any realistic experience, they don't count the cash flow. You have to qualify based on your income.
You spoke to
Wells
a
Fargo.
bad bank. Yeah, Wells Fargo. Case in point. No, but you talk to a Wells Fargo loan officer that gets $3 grand a year, has a kid, needs a bit of security, and doesn't realize if you make 30 to 40 grand a month, you can buy your own insurance. But they stay at Wells Fargo, they only know what they know, and they're not the best suited. Yeah, they really don't know. And even if they did know, they don't have access to the product, so they couldn't perform.
So you could get basically a financing for that.
No, I don't know. I'd send you that big laundry list, and I'd want your 2010 and 11 taxes, W-2s, stuff, ID, and until I have all that, I don't look at it, but I'm almost like the doctor. You know, I got nurses.
Yeah.
And then once all of the stuff's in, patient's sitting in the room, and I know everything's there, I'll put my brain on it. I'll try to figure it out. And that's what I'm good at. I'm good at weaseling and manipulating the system. I'm good at I dictate what a lot of people pay in taxes each year.
Right.
And that's about to come. Because people are like, oh, I want to buy my dream home or whatever. So I tell them, well, we got to change the way you're doing your taxes, and we got to claim this and do this, and then you qualify.
When I send you all the laundry list, do you use fax or do you have any securities?
Good question. I give them 2 options. I mean, there's a fax number, or they can email it back to me and my assistant. Whether they fax it or they email it, it comes to both of us anyways.
Email is not secure though.
Huh?
Email is not secure to send you all those stuff.
Neither's fax, UPS, or FedEx. I don't know what would be secure. I mean, because
I
I do some internet security people I've gotten loans for, and they do not want to email anything.
Right.
If they're in Vegas, Henderson, or wherever, I'll send a runner to go pick it up. And I'm surprised that makes them feel more comfortable to hand it over to a stranger. or they can drop it off at my office, or they can snail mail it.
Loan companies use the secure email to send all the document you could put inside and then send it. So unless you have a password given by you, then you cannot open the email.
I'm not that fancy. I've never seen anybody that is. But if Google's not good enough for a client of mine, I tell them to go somewhere else. No, I'm just kidding. But no, if they don't want to email it to me, and they don't want to fax it to me, and they don't want to mail it to me, and they don't want someone to pick it up, and they don't want to drive it to me, then I would just tell the person, what do you want to do? And if they told me, I want you to build a secure internet system with a password, I would say, sorry, I don't do that, or flat fees. And I'm being a little jokey, don't take it the wrong way. But no, I don't know. Most time people, they'll either scan in and send me all of the attachments, PDF style. Some people actually create their own little Dropbox folder, and they'll share their Dropbox folder. They put all their stuff in. That's secure. That's what you do? Yeah. Password, we could do that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's to me, that's the ultimate way. But I can't make clients download Dropbox and put their stuff in there. So most of the time they fax it in. It comes in to call 8 or e-fax, 800 fax numbers. They come to me and Tamara, and we can both view them as a PDF, and everything they faxed in is converted and scanned into a PDF. She then throws it all in a Dropbox. If they're missing something, she hits them and says, hey, thank you. Everything that my staff does is templates. Templates I've created over the years and evolved, and that's the only emails they're allowed to really send out. Unless they're answering a question directed to them. You have a question?
Well, you're only dealing with flesh and blood. The person wants to buy a property, so you can base the deal on what they can qualify for, as opposed to if I was looking at the deal as an investor and I just wanted to have it based on the property itself, I'd be looking at a hard money lender.
Hard money.
Something like that.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to, my whole life is, what's your credit score? What's your income? What's your debt? Me and her whole life is qualifying ratios, debt to income ratios. There are little tricks, there's still gray areas in the business, but all in all, it's become a pretty honest, straightforward, you have to qualify the way it used to be. Yeah, I mean, there's still tricks of the trade, but there's no stated
Hard
loans.
money or private lender, they go by the property itself.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Even hard money wants to see the ability to repay nowadays. If you have bad, tax returns, hardly any income, but you got 800 grand in the bank, they'll go for it. You got 20 grand in the bank, you're buying a 300 grand property, and you made 14 grand last year and 22 the year before, they won't lend you a penny. Yeah, it's not 6 years ago. Like, I get hard money for people. I'm doing a few right now. Do I love them? No. It's not my bread and butter. My bread and butter is normal people buying normal houses from realtors. But they're surprised when I tell them, yeah, I need your tax returns, yeah, I need your K-1, your business returns, and I need your assets as well. What? No, I did this, and I did, go do it. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not here to fight you. There's plenty of hard money lenders, call up and find out that what I told you is the truth. And they can't. And then they'll call me back, and I'll get them back. I'm good at dealing with people that think something's available that isn't, because then I just tell them what they're about to experience, and then let them go experience. And they're like, oh, Brandon, you were right, man. I want to work with you or whatever.
The VA loan too.
I love VA. I do a lot of VA business. I think, in my opinion, VA is the best loan in the country. It's 100% financing, no mortgage insurance. Almost all veterans have 5%, 10, 20% disabled status. And then they have no finance mortgage insurance, no upfront mortgage insurance. Well, they call it a VA funding fee. And it's amazing loan.
How long does it take for you to pre-qualify for the VA?
Within 24 hours of me actually having all of the people's documentation, I have DU or LP underwriting approval, and I issue a pre-approval letter. So I'm not gonna make my staff miserable. I'm not gonna make myself miserable. All my realtors know that. And if they send me in a whole peach basket of stuff and I'm missing tax returns and W-2s, the clock doesn't start. Okay, Tamara sends them a real courteous email. Thank you for taking the time to gather up, but we're still missing the important stuff, and there's probably a reason you didn't send it. So then once I get that, 24 hours from us having everything, because my biggest fear of what I can never allow to happen is I send someone shopping with a realtor that can't buy. I'm not going to waste 2 weekends of a realtor of mine's time, because A, I'm going to lose that realtor forever to someone who's smart enough to do what I do. So I won't send people shopping until I have everything. Now, if they're super crazy solid, they're like, yeah, I'm a 785, look, I owe 1.2 million liquid, I don't write nothing off on my taxes, and I make 300 grand a year. And I only own one house right now that I'm gonna rent out. What do you want to buy? Here's a pre-approval. And pilots and doctors and lawyers and stuff, engineers, some of them really do know. And you can tell, she can tell. You can tell when a borrower knows exactly where they're at, but even that's bitten both of us before, thinking, oh, this person's on the ball and knows where they're at in life. You get their tax returns, it's like, oh, you didn't tell me about wifey's business. Yeah.
That's Schedule C.
That Schedule C's a mofo. But, yeah, so we just have to be cautious. Careful. Do you have any questions, Ernest? Yeah. Sure. Okay, here.
Okay. I know rates went up, was it last week or the week before?
Yeah.
Are they going back down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last couple of days. So, because I'm exposed huge. You saw the red on my board. I was so mad. I'm like, oh my God. Because I don't gamble, but I do wake up every morning at 6 a.m. to bond market quotes from the Mortgage Market Guide. And you do too. It's like the only stress in my life, really. Because if the bond market's going up, I know that pricing is going to become better or stay where it is. If the bond market's dumping 180 basis points over a few days' time, you're about to cry, especially if you're a refi person. Now I'm a purchase person. I can always bump their interest rate and I'm going to be fine. But if my refinance portion of my pipeline could go away completely, it's all gone. You just got a bunch of pissed off people that are usually referred by realtors that are your source of buyers. So to answer your question, yeah, they go up, down, all around. The quantitative easing 3 talks are in the air, and if that comes to fruition the first quarter of next year, and don't let this keep you from taking action, people, but we might see rates, whereas now people are getting 3.25% to 4%, we might see 2.25% to 3%. I never thought, I did think we'd see it in the 3s. Everybody thought I was absolutely insane. And everybody might think what I'm saying right now is insane. In the 2s, but 3 years ago, if I told you guys rates would be in the 3s, you'd be like, ah, you're freaking insane. The economy's going to shit. You got to raise rates, stop inflation. But when I lost my ass in real estate and hard money, I really got into macroeconomics and cyclical cycles. And that's the only, I don't watch the media, I don't watch MTV, I don't watch the news. I watch Family Guy on Netflix and American Dad, primarily. I like those, it's like a release. I watch these cartoons. I never knew I liked it until I got Netflix. But I subscribe to specialized knowledge publications that have to do with finance, technology, real estate, and economics. And I've went through a lot of different sources and kept the handful that I like and subscribe to and pay a little money. They keep me updated with videos or emails or whatever. Ernest?
Yeah, if I have a house and a buyer comes along, I send them to you. I'm trying to think how else can we do business with you, because a lot of us are starting out investing, and I'm trying to pull what else can we do?
What anybody could do, if you know somebody that's looking to buy a home or refinance, I'm going to give everyone my card right now. I might as well just start handing them out. And you just say, hey, I got a guy, he seems like he knows what he's talking about. Put him up against your bank or your broker, and may the best man win. Yeah. Don't fear competition. Yeah. Okay. There you go, Ernest. But yeah, in that situation, you can tell the person, so that I don't, to answer Ernest's question, what you would say as an investor
I got your card.
is,
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Give me a call.
hey,
Anytime. There's a card.
you can't leave without this.
Thanks. Thanks, sir.
All right, man. Well, what you, as an investor, what you can say is, I want to protect my interest and make sure I'm not taking my market off the property for someone that can't buy it. And I'm sure your pre-approval letter from Bank of America is good. A lot of realtors won't even take a pre-approval from Bank of America as a listing agent, or Wells Fargo, to be honest, because it takes a long time to close, and sometimes they go over the phone pre-qual and it's wrong, and the people really don't qualify. But what you could say is, to make sure, I love your pre-approval letter, but I need you to talk to my guy, and if he tells me you're good to go, I'll accept your offer and sell you this property.
Yeah.
And that protects you
So
from...
you get the green light then?
Correct. Yeah, and you just send them my way, and I can do that pretty easy. My pleasure. Sure. Any other questions? Sure.
Yeah, how long have you been on the technical edge here? Because you know this guy's right in the machine.
What's that? The technological thing, I hooked up my former business partner, Romik Yegnazari, a very intelligent Persian Armenian man. I started what I called the top producing mastermind group for loan officers in Nevada. I took the top producing loan officer from the top 25 companies, and we would meet once every 3 months, and I would conduct the meeting. Our combined production was more than any one company in the state except Wells Fargo and B of A. So we had a bit of lobbying or negotiating power. I was accused of starting a union. I wasn't starting a union. I was trying to keep a level playing field because they were messing with our compensation. I also knew I would be moving here to Santa Barbara, and felt with the caliber of realtors I had and was going after, I needed a local presence, partner, and hope they didn't screw me out of a bunch of money, which did happen. That'll always happen. Don't partner up. No, I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say that. In mortgages, if you're a mortgage, there's just too much money, and you don't want more than your hand in the pie. But Romik Yegnazari, I took my old school systems and way of using staff and knowledge, and his Google Docs spreadsheet system, and why we were partners, evolved it to a different level, to where it's at now. And to where when we split, he had got to take my brain power in improving the FBP system and the agent and client tracking system and the way in which we communicated with the people, and I implemented a handful of things that made us joining forces create like a super system. And by chance, Apple is what he used, and I started with my iPhone 4S and decided Android is junk. Any Android that came out that was the iPhone killer, Slayer, bully, iPhone bully killer, I bought them all. I bought them all. And then the Nexus Prime came out December 16th from Verizon. I bought that thing 24 hours, I took it back, they hadn't fixed the problems, I had a little bit of issues, ordered an iPhone 4S within a week, I was in love. Everyone refers to their Apple products as, I love them. No one says I love my Android phone, no one says I love my PC, but everyone with a MacBook Pro Retina display with 16 gigabytes of RAM loves it. Everyone with an i4S loves it. Everyone with a new iPad loves it. And then if you need to share documents, and Dropbox is the best in the world, go Dropbox. And it's so simple, a monkey could do it. You use Dropbox, right?
That,
Google
Microsoft,
Drive,
Google, all
Drive
of it.
does the same thing. Yep.
Three
So
other things.
now we have Dropbox, and you know, Google Docs is incredible. I mean, Gmail is the world's most advanced email client solution, and they're the most secure, unless you're on a network. Even those can be hacked super easy depending on the network. So you don't really get much more secure for email than Google. Google Docs are part of Google security technology. Pretty safe. Dropbox, big coffers. They got tapped into. They did, but they put in a stop loss and security measures that you can implement or not implement. The password you spoke of. I don't use the password. But if you shared something with me that required one, I'd have no problem with that. I'd enter the password if I knew it and access the data. So I feel Apple hardware is extremely beautiful. Google and Gmail are extremely beautiful, and Dropbox is. And then the only thing is formatting spreadsheets and coming up with a system to track your client or business the way it works for you. And then that's my spiel on technology. I mean, Apple, Google, Dropbox, you're living a good life. Simple life.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I knew I could depend on Brandon, and I called him up and said, hey, you know, you did such a great job speaking last time.
He did.
You're such a great technical wizard as well. Please come back, and I'm very happy that you did, Brandon. So
Oh,
thank you
thanks
very
for
much.
having me.
Hey, I'm glad that Dwayne and I'm glad they dropped that. We got
Well, you know, I'll tell you, there's always a reason that things happen, you know, we could have gotten
the right thing happened.
sold on something really expensive that we didn't want to get sold on, who knows, you know, so.
I saved you all $6,000.
Very possibly.
Oh, I wanted to say one thing on that. Only one. Because I have clients that I've seen lose $40,000, $60,000, $80,000 going from boot camp to boot camp to boot camp. You know what I mean?
Tell me about it.
Yeah, tell me about it. So, and they can have fun and they can learn a lot, but truly, like Dan said earlier, find someone that's living a life similar to what you want, that's making a ton of money, and that is honest and transparent. And if you ask him to see his freaking bank statement, asset statement, and tax, he goes, oh, no. He's not your guy. He's not your mentor. Because someone, and it's not easy. What I'm saying isn't just simple, gonna happen, but it's the way to go. You want to get into investing and knowing how to manage properties? Hook up with Dan. You want to get into commercial real estate? You go find a Middle Eastern, Jewish, or Chinese gentleman that will train you, okay? That will be your best bet. And that's just the truth, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Find an expert that will mentor you.
Makes a big
The
difference.
people selling the boot camps aren't doing it.
That's right.
They're not
Gotta
doing
be
it.
very careful. We're gonna have a guy back next month here. Sensei Gilliland? I better get that straight, he's gonna be here, right? So Sensei's gonna be here next month, and he's really good on wholesaling, somebody that you love to work with. So hopefully, we'll have you back next month. Thank you very much. If anybody's got any questions, give us a call.
Your email's coming good.
I'll keep the emails coming in.
Good.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all for being here.